and welcome to NEMCtv6 Focus Program. I'm Joe Adair. I'll be your host today, and joining me is Matthew Karraffe. He is the Memphis Junior High School principal.
Yes.
A new position.
It is a new position for me, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And what's your experience, your background in?
Well, I've been in education now. This is my 11th year. I started out as a high school teacher in Madison Heights. And from there, I spent 4 years teaching, and I was a varsity baseball coach and girls basketball coach. And through those experiences, I was elevated to the principal of the middle school at Madison Heights. I spent 3 years there, and then I was at East Detroit also for 2 years as a middle school principal. Last year, I was a principal at Unionville-Seaboing area schools, or Unionville-Seaboing USA Elementary School. Mm-hmm. And I think that path ultimately has led me here to Memphis. This is for myself, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to come to Memphis, and I'm glad I'm here. And I think my path along the way kind of shaped who I am now, and I think that's what made me so attractive to the school board and the superintendent at Memphis. Is I guess all my experiences rolled into one, and what they get was me. So.
And they're all bigger schools than Memphis, right?
They are much bigger, ranging from 800 in East Detroit, and now Memphis is the smallest school I've been a part of, just over 450 kids. But it is a small school or a small district where big things happen. And that's one of our mottos. And it's true. It is a small district, but big things do happen at Memphis, and I'm glad to be part of the whole thing.
In smaller communities, I think, make things more personal.
Yes.
Because you get to know the parents. There's more involvement in the community and families and parents and things with smaller districts than with your huge ones.
Yeah.
And you get to know them.
Yeah, and I've noticed that 900 kids at East Detroit, it was very difficult to meet parents and to have meetings and those things. There's a lot of things going on in the city areas, and not everyone always had time. In the smaller districts like Memphis, I meet a new parent almost every day. And the parents I met the day before, I see them the next day. So they're always involved. They're anxious to be involved. They want to help out any way they can, and that is the big difference between the big schools and the smaller cities. Is the smaller schools have the parents. I don't want to say they care more, but they do. They're more involved, and
exactly.
And that's great for an administrator like myself and my teachers to have parents that are involved in their students' education.
Right. Yeah, I'm from a small district too, from Armada.
Oh yeah.
So
small district too. It's,
love those small districts.
You love them. You gotta love them. You gotta love them. So, and that's why I'm so glad to be here. The opportunity to be in a small district, but to make big things happen, is what really drew me to the job here in Memphis.
Okay, let's talk about some of those big things.
Okay, let's do that.
What kind of programs have you got coming in?
Well, one of the biggest things on the horizon for my staff, for all of us really, students, staff, and the community, is we're bringing in restorative practices to Memphis. And what restorative practices are, they are an alternative to suspension or detention, an alternative to discipline of the past. It is a 6-part training we're going to be involved in this year, all of our staff, and we will learn ways to communicate with our students in order to get to the root of an issue. Rather than just jump and suspend or hand out detentions and just send them on their way, we want to find out what happened, why did it happen, and then we also want to get to the point where our students start to think about what did I do, why did I do it, and how can I make amends for it. The training, like I said, is a 6-part training, and by the end of this year, all of our staff will be trained, and we're hoping that by next year, all the staff can start utilizing that in their classrooms. And also the administrators use it, our secretaries can all use these restorative practices in order to get a better idea of, again, why are students doing the things they do, and how do they make amends for that after they do those things.
Okay.
And one of the things we use is circles. I use a circle for every staff meeting I have. Circles allow the opportunity for everyone involved to participate, but it also eliminates the ability for people to hide out. So we're always facing each other.
Just not say anything.
Exactly. So everyone has to participate in some way or another. You don't necessarily have to talk, but just being involved is participation enough sometimes. Whether it's a hand raise, maybe it's a nod, but you're not able to hide out.
Right.
And the circles are very exciting because it allows the students to converse with each other. As a facilitator of a restorative circle, I can start the conversation out, but then I leave it to the students or the teacher and student or parent and student. It can be anyone really involved. I allow them to work out their problems together. and then they work out a solution as well. And I just kind of facilitate along the way. At the end, the result is we have a student that may not have apologized in the past, may apologize to the person that they may have offended, and say, you know, I see now how you were hurt by this, and so I want to make amends. I apologize, and how do we start working on that now?
Right.
So the circles, the restorative practice is very strong, a very strong program. I'm very excited to bring it to my staff. We start in October, and again, it's a 6-part series, so we're hoping that, I'm hoping that my staff enjoys it just as much as I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. That's kind of a fascinating option for schools to have nowadays.
Very much.
So we're going to take a little break right now.
Okay.
So we're going to elaborate a little bit more on some things that blend in with that.
Awesome.
So stay with us. We'll be right back.
We have cables to walk on, and we have ropes to swing on, and it's a lot of, for their mind, it's a lot of tactile, so it's really good for them to be able to feel what they're going to be doing. And out here, as you can see, we have our brand new climbing tower, and that is also accessible for anybody in a wheelchair.
Hi, welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching NEMC Channel 6 TV. This is our Focus program. I'm Joe Adair, and joining me today is Matthew Karraffe.
Karraffe, yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
In our earlier segment, we talked about some of Mr. Karraffe's background and some of the new programs that you have at Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
of which you are the Memphis Junior Senior High School Principal.
Yes, I am.
The restorative practices is where we left off
Yes,
at.
yes.
And it's a pretty fascinating program, and I love the concept of working it out rather than punishing a child. I think that just makes them angrier.
Yeah, yeah, and we kind of spoke about this earlier. You know, you send a child home suspended, they have 2-3 days to sit and think about what happened, and they fester with it, and they may not have resolved anything.
Exactly.
So they're at home,
This
they're
doesn't
angry.
matter.
They're at home and they're angry. They're angry at myself or assistant principal, whoever suspended them. They're angry at the student they were involved with. They're angry at everything. They're mad about school. You know, and we're trying to eliminate that. Restorative practices gives us the opportunity to say, hey kids, here's what you did. Okay, why do you think that was wrong? Okay, and why do you think that? And now, who do you think was affected by those decisions you made? How do you think they feel? And then ultimately at the end we say, how do you want to make amends for that? So we leave it up to the student to decide. We don't tell them you have to go apologize or you have to do this or you have to do that. We say, how would you like to now make amends for that? 9 times out of 10 the students will say, I want to go find this person that I did this wrong
Right.
to and I want
What's
to
it going
apologize.
to take to work this out?
And then we get them in a circle. And once they're in a circle and they're face to face, they talk it out and they can apologize, shake hands, whatever they want to do face to face. And really the power behind that is it's extraordinary, the power behind something like that. But you can leave it to the students to decide how they want to make amends for something. And almost 100% of the time that student wants to make amends for what they did wrong. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. They want to be the good guy.
Right.
And so they want to make amends for those kind of things.
That's good.
So it's very powerful stuff.
Now that kind of falls into play the same thing with bullying.
Yes. Yeah, it's a way for us to sit down and say, you know, you may have been teasing Mary, whatever, and you may think it's funny,
Right.
but Mary's inside and she's crying over there, and she may not think it's funny at all. But when we sit down in that circle, we can really find out. Mary can say, hey, Joey, you know, you made me feel this way because you said this, and it hurt me because you said this. And the students can really think about, you know what, maybe what I did was wrong, and maybe I've been doing this for a long time, and I didn't realize.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny. I
Right.
didn't realize how hurt somebody was. And a lot of times kids who are being bullied don't tell somebody. They take it home with them, they keep it inside, and sometimes it gets to the point where it's too late for them. This is an avenue or a venue where they can get in there, they can have their feelings be heard. And also the person that is affecting them can hear that. And then they can figure out how to work that out together. And all along, I'm there, or the restorative officer is there to facilitate the meeting. Never to get involved and make suggestions, but just to facilitate, just keep things moving at a smooth pace. And it's very effective. It's very, like I said, it's very powerful stuff.
Now you have trained staff.
We have a few trained staff right now. Last year 4 staff members were trained in restorative practices. And over this summer, my assistant principal went to the 2-day training. So they are now trained in circles. They can do them in classrooms with their students. The next step would be learning to train circles for adults. And that's as far as I've been through this training for adults and students as well. So I'm at that point. My goal next is to become a trainer of trainers. So I can train new staff myself in how to become restorative in their mindset. And so that's the ultimate goal, I think, too, for me.
Now, has Memphis brought on a lot of new staff this year?
Memphis has brought on some new staff. We have some new staff at the high school. We have some amazing, first of all, we have an amazing staff overall, all throughout Memphis schools.
Sounds like you're kind of proud of it.
Oh, I am. I told them recently at a staff meeting, I said, you know, this is, and not to say anything about any other staffs I've worked with, but this is probably the best staff I've ever had. They're amazing. The things they do, they go out of their way for the kids. The things they do to prepare, it's just awesome to watch. And it's you get kind of lost in the shuffle in a big school, you know, but a school like Memphis, you can really shine, and a lot of our teachers shine. So this year we brought in a former Memphis alum, recently graduated not too long ago. I don't want to say her age or anything like that, but Alex Gunst is back with us this year teaching our junior high. She's a Memphis grad. A lot of our teachers know her from class. Fun. Oh, it's great. And the great thing about it is she knows the ins and outs. She knows people, she knows things, she knows places, and she has a brother that is a senior this year. So that's really awesome. We have Rachel Slokowski, who comes to us from KPAC. She spent 20 years in KPAC.
Wow. And
came to Memphis this year because she wanted to be a part of it. She has children that go to Memphis. She lives in Memphis, and I think it was another destiny thing that brought her to us, and we're so glad to have her. Again, she knows the community, she knows the people, and she really just fit in seamlessly.
That's good. Sounds like you've got quite an diverse staff.
Oh, it's great. And our most recent hire, Drake Oki, is our new athletic director. And Drake, while he is more of a city boy like me, coming into the Memphis town, he does have experience in the Thumb area as an athletic director. He worked in Sandusky for a little while. But he also brings to us 16 years of experience as an athletic director, which is phenomenal. Not only that, but Mr. Oki is a trained restorative officer, so he knows the ins and outs of the program as well. So I think that helps us out on the playing field too, and not only off the playing field, but on the playing field, as he's another mentor, just like our great coaches we have. Another great mentor for the kids to turn to when they have issues they want to discuss with somebody. So the addition of those three, plus the staff we've had, it's phenomenal. And I'm so happy to be a part of that group.
That's great.
Yeah.
What about curriculum this year?
Well, we have
any big changes, or are you kind of staying with the flow of what?
We're going to kind of see how things work right now. We do have a new math series that we're using in the high school level. Our teachers were recently just trained in that whole math series, and they rave about it. We also have adopted the NGSS science standards for our science teachers. And again, just the other day, one of our science teachers, Mrs. Kujat, came to me so excited because her students were actually excited about science. And she was telling me that they were jumping out of their seats, they were trying experiments on their own. Some of them went home and did them by themselves. And she was so excited, and just to see her excitement, because the students were excited, made me excited. And just it's a domino effect. And they say a lot of times schools will take on the persona of their leaders or the ones that run the show. And I
sounds like you guys can maybe do it the other way around.
Well, I think so. I take their excitement. I thrive off that excitement, and that makes me more excited. It makes me want to do more good things for our kids. So the great new math series, the new science standards we're working on, and as far as the teachers go this year, our teaching staff was also trained in a Kagan. It's called Kagan. It's another way to look at your instructional delivery. It's not new curriculum, but how do we deliver our instruction to the kids? Do you lecture for 25 minutes? Well, that doesn't work anymore. So it's more about giving them 10 minutes of information, letting them stand up and move them around a little bit, let their brains work a little bit, and they move to another group work maybe, and then the students lead the instruction. So it's really a lot of moving parts. There's not a lot of new stuff. It's all things that teachers already know about, but it's a lot of moving parts that fit together, and really I'm telling you, it's something to see, and I invite you to bring the cameras by one day to get inside the school. That would be amazing.
We'd love to.
I would love for you to see that, but a lot of good things going on in Memphis.
Okay, so we're going to close right here for another quick little commercial, and we'll come back and we'll talk about a few other quick things, and
Awesome.
we'll get some information out there for Memphis schools.
Thank you.
So be sure and stay with us, and we'll be back in just a minute.
A 16-year-old Florida boy was a loner at school. Not fitting in with his classmates left him feeling like an outcast.
They didn't really understand the power of inclusion, diversity, and kindness.
You know what? Maybe you should invite him to Liz's party, right?
Yeah, I'm having people over tonight. You're more than welcome to come.
Having a party? Hi, I'm Tom Holland from the cast of Spider-Man Homecoming. We're here to talk to you about an important issue.
Imagine how different the boy from Florida would have felt if his fellow students had shown him kindness.
Stomp Out Bullying, the national leading bullying prevention organization for kids and teens in the U.S.,
has an initiative that empowers students to end bullying and change the culture.
Their campaign raises awareness and educates the public about this serious issue.
Inclusion and kindness opens doors and possibilities for everyone.
On the first Monday of October,
This year, October 2nd,
You can show your power by wearing a blue shirt.
for Blue Shirt Day, the World Day of Bullying Prevention.
Be a hero and spread the word.
Let's all go blue together.
and stomp out bullying.
It's all up to us. Change the culture.
Hi, and welcome back. And you are watching NEMCtv6. This is our focus program. I'm Joe Adair. Joining me today is Matthew Karraffe, the Memphis Junior Senior High School principal. We've gone over a lot of information here in a very quick amount of time. It's something that's hard to get it all crammed into one.
It's very hard, yes.
So let's just kind of jump into activities that Memphis has got going on right now.
Okay.
You just had homecoming, right?
Just at homecoming, huge deal for me. My first homecoming as a principal, and I was excited to hear that we had a larger crowd than usual, which is great. I don't think it was for me, but I think it was just the excitement we drummed up. Mr. Oki, as our new athletic director, did a great job. Hung up signs, hung up banners, repainted the press box inside, had a full spread of sandwiches out there for any visitors from the other team that came through the press box, camera crew, our announcers, our scoreboard, the people who run the scoreboard. He put the blasts out there, on his Sting report, which is run through your channel. And so he did a really great job bringing everything together for our homecoming. It was an awesome event.
Yeah, you get good athletics in Memphis.
We got a lot of strong
cheerleaders.
kids. Oh, the cheerleaders are awesome. We had 10 strong cheerleaders. We had a great coach, and she is really working hard with our squad this year. The floats were amazing. Our junior, senior, sophomore, and freshman classes all built amazing floats, and their sponsors did a great job too. The parade was awesome. I got to be the first ever Grand Marshal for the homecoming parade in Memphis history, from what I'm told. So that was
Something
really
to go down in history.
something very big. I may be the only one because I may not do it next year, but I was the first one that I was told to do that. But just to see, again, this was a homecoming parade for a high school, and the mile stretch or so we went down Boardman Road, M19 to Boardman Road, to see all the people lined up just to see us. It's a high school band,
Great support.
football team, great support. Everybody, young and old, waving. Most probably didn't even know who I was, but they were waving anyways.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. So it was the best homecoming I've ever been to.
There you go.
And it was very exciting. The team got off to a great start, scored 12 early points. The football team really is working hard this year, and it was just a great overall
Put the 100% into it.
Oh yeah, 100%, 1,000%, I think.
That's good. That's good. Any other activities that, any robotics classes, any?
Robotics is strong at Memphis. We've got you talk about parental support. We've got parents that are so involved in this. I had conversations with the gentleman who runs the program recently, and we talked for almost a half hour about robotics. And his daughters are very involved. They're highly involved in the robotics class. And I don't think a day goes by that I don't see somebody working in that robotics lab after hours, all night long. And recently we had a junior high dance that ran from 6 to 8:30. At 9 o'clock there were still students and parents in the robotics lab working on robots.
Wow.
So it's an amazing program.
Technology is the path to
It's
tomorrow.
huge. It's huge. And the STEM programs that are coming out now, and I don't know if you heard President Trump recently talk about
Yeah.
STEM being huge. Michigan is really going to start pushing STEM in all schools, and we're looking to do the same thing at Memphis. We want our kids involved in science, technology, engineering, math, and those are the 4 areas that I think for a long time were neglected in education, and I think now they're really coming to the forefront. People are seeing how important they are to us. And the kids are really involved. You know?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and that's really awesome. So our robotics team is awesome, and they're really doing a great job this year.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, if someone wants some more information, do you have a website?
Oh, we do. We have a website they can go to, and it is www.memphisk12.org. Go right on the website. You can find links to our athletics page, our robotics, our college courses we offer. We offer dual enrollment at a lot of different places, and we'll get into that another time maybe. You can find my principal's page. You can find all kind of information about Memphis on our website, and we're really doing a good job to restructure that site as well to kind of become more friendly for our users. But it's really a good website to go for information about Memphis schools.
And does your staff have tools on the website where, homework pages?
Oh yeah,
or
we've got
So parents, make sure you go on the website, check out the homework, because when Johnny says, "No, I don't have any homework," check it out.
That's how you find it. And all of our teachers have a teacher page updated this year with their course syllabus on there, and we've got links to email, phone calls. My teachers are available, so if anyone ever wants to get a hold of a teacher, they know they can get to them very easily. And my teachers are eager to meet with parents as well. They want to know what's going on. They want to make things right for the students. So they're always looking for any kind of suggestions or anything from anyone.
Right, and that's the beauty of a small community, that those suggestions are taken to heart.
Oh yeah.
So it's not that you got 30,000 of them because you get such a big community.
No,
you get a few like that.
Exactly.
Someone's usually got a good idea.
If we got 400 kids and let's say 16 of them have a suggestion, that's a big percentage of our population.
Exactly.
Whereas compared to a big school, they may never be heard.
Right.
So.
Right. I got another good idea.
Yeah.
Let's bring you back.
Oh.
And we'll get into that curriculum and get into the robotics and get into some of the classes that's preparing Memphis kids for college.
Oh yeah.
So
we are preparing them to be respectful, responsible, and ready as they move forward. And then we'll talk about. I got a lot of stuff for you, so I can.
I'll bet you do. All right, then we'll bring you back. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thank you. You've been watching NEMCtv6 Focus program. I'm Joe Adair. Thanks for watching.